What's up, guys? Brett Okamoto from ESPN. I'm joined today by UFC lightweight and University of Northern Colorado Hall of Famer Justin Gaethje, who takes on Michael Chandler at UFC 268 on November 6th at Madison Square Garden. We are talking a couple weeks out from the fight. Justin, how are you feeling? What are you up to? What are the vibe? What are the feelings as this fight gets closer with Michael Chandler?
It's been a great time, man. Me, Kamaru, and Rose in here is something special. All preparing for one goal, and that's to get the dub on November 6th. So yeah, it's been a great camp. Getting skinny, this is the getting skinny part. So yeah, it's I have a chef now, so I'm actually enjoying this part a little more than the past times.
What prompted that? Why'd you decide to get the chef?
Just I just kept taking too long after my workouts to get nutrition back into me. And I thought I was eating healthy the whole time, but it turns out I was not eating healthy. She's substituting all sugar for like monk fruit sugar and coconut sugar, and soon she'll take all my sugar. But yeah, that's I never, I always just figured I would eat unprocessed food, and that was the way to go. But there's a couple extra tricks in there. She's a holistic nutritionist. She runs a wellness center. She's like she designs the menu and the food for that whole place. So it's cool. It's good to have.
I mean, it's a science now, dude. Like you said, I mean, you can't just be eating like vegetables. I mean, it's not that simple anymore.
Like if I was doing chicken, I would throw some barbecue sauce on it, but I'm throwing Sweet Baby Ray's on there. And now she's making homemade barbecue sauce with no sugar. And, her point is she's going to give me everything that I love to eat, but by substituting, by getting the flavor there and the consistency there, but without, I had some Alfredo the other night. The sauce was made out of cauliflower, no butter, cream. It was different. It still gave me the creamy consistency that I was looking for in Alfredo, but it was much healthier. So yeah, it's good. My body's reacting well. Feeling great.
I know. I was going to say, I mean, weight cutting is not fun for anybody, right? But you're not one of those guys who has a huge weight cut. Like, do you see this actually being maybe like an advantage, or like do you feeling better in the gym? You feeling like more energetic, or is it just kind of like the cuts easier? Like, is there an advantage to this?
I feel better. I can't say what the cut will be like. I've actually with this process, I've been trying to keep weight on. I'm a little like 2 or 3 pounds heavier than normal at this point, and that's kind of my goal. I'd like to walk into the cage around between 172 and 175. In the past, I've had a hard time getting above 170. So yeah, maybe it'll be a little harder, but I'm also going to follow, a strict plan when it comes to getting that 10% of my body weight off, with the water and the 3 different places we pull this 10% from. So with the plan, it'll be much more fluid, hopefully.
Yeah. When you said right off the bat that, it's been a cool camp with you, Rose, and Kamaru, obviously that's like a big it's like a story in and of itself going into this event. What can you describe that more? Like, what is the dynamic? Like what feels different now that all 3 of you are working towards this, like you said, the same goal on the same date?
Yeah. I mean, I walk in here to get after my, let's say yesterday after my Monday workout at 10 a.m. I get here about 11:40. Kamaru's walking out. Rose is working out. And then I'm next. So yeah, you walk in and the mentality that these two are, have inside them, that you can see it on their face, is inspiring. So yeah, we're all inspiring each other to push each other harder and farther and to be great. I think it'll be, a good recipe for disaster for us November 6th.
What do you think the locker room will be like with you 3 in there on the same night?
I don't know. I think it'll be normal. It's normal, It'll be much more real. We're preparing for a real battle instead of practice. All of us are very good at separating the two. They're very different experiences, and you need to have very different mentalities when it comes to approaching, either or. So, I think we're going to help each other. I think everything that will come will be, positive. I like to think optimistic, but you can think about the bad things. What if one of us loses? What kind of motion does that set?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, we all know we walk in there by ourselves. So as much as we're inspiring each other, you have to lean on yourself and you can't rely on anybody. And all three of us are great at that.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds like you've already kind of compartmentalized that in your head, but you are the one going first. So is there more pressure on the one to go first? Is it like, I mean, you guys can all say like, yeah, we're all going in there ourselves, but I would think that the hardest position would be the one to set the tone, right? Do you feel that at all?
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it both ways. I mean, the one that goes last could be the hardest. The first one to get it over with could be the easiest way to look at it. I mean, there's different ways to look at it. For me, it takes me back to my wrestling days. Dual tournaments when one after another walked onto the mat. Usually started at the lowest weight, so I wasn't first or last. I was usually right in the middle. But your performance out there will set the tone for the team. So that's my job come November 6th for sure.
How has the motivation been for this fight? And like, what is really motivating you for this fight? Like, you've been doing this a long time. You're coming off of a title fight, coming off of a fight against Habib, which there are some certain things that go in with that because it's Habib, and now you come back and you're fighting non-title fight against Michael Chandler. Like, what is motivating you, and how has the motivation been during this camp?
Yeah, I mean the loss is the biggest motivator. For a competitor to lose is detrimental. So that's why I'm going to be in such great shape this camp, because I, got back that week and jumped straight on the Aerodyne. Told my coach I had to do something more. I had to keep pushing it. So yeah, I mean, that loss is a huge factor for people like me to go in there and again prove myself right. Right now you go in there with doubts. Confidence is the ultimate factor. So I have to work, day in and day out to remind myself that I've been working my whole life towards this one goal, and I'd be a fool to not give everything at this moment.
Mm-hmm. How is it? How is the confidence coming off of? I mean, obviously, I'm sure it's easier being confident off a win than a loss. How is the confidence off of that?
Yeah, good. It's a process, working through practice, having people take you down, stopping takedowns. I mean, I've been stopping takedowns my whole life, but last fight was an issue. Do I believe anybody on earth can do that? Absolutely not. But I have to be prepared, jiu-jitsu wise, grappling wise, all those things.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? What are you expecting out of him? I mean, obviously he's got a long career, a lot of film on him. You're familiar with who he is. He's also coming off of a loss. He's coming off of he was this close to winning the title, a few punches maybe in that first round, and he gets Charles out of there. How are you expecting that to change him? What kind of adjustments do you think he's going to make based off of, what happened to him in his last fight?
Being a wrestler, being a competitor his whole life, I think he's going to come out firing shots. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think he'll have no in him, which will be fun. Fun for the crowd, fun for me. Will he start wrestling after I start landing big shots? I'm not sure, probably. But again, I've been defending takedowns my entire life. So if he wants to waste energy there, then that's fine. When he stands up, he won't be able to block his face anymore.
Huh. What do you think of his defensive skills and his ability to take a shot?
Yeah, I mean, dude, case by case basis. Each shot is different. It's all timing. It's all space. You can hit someone with the same shot 10 times. It puts them out one time because they didn't see it that one time. I think he's a fighter. He gets really extended. Getting extended and getting punched isn't great. Would I like to land a flush shot when he's very extended? Absolutely. Will he have no base when I land that shot? Absolutely. Will he go to sleep because of that? Absolutely. So that's the goal.
You look at this as like, you've been in those fights where we're talking about like, oh, it's for the all violence crown, Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Tony Ferguson, like those were all like such fan friendly fights. And so is this one. But did you see that as in that tier? Like, is this one of those fights to you? Is it the same level as all those other ones? There's
only one common denominator in every single one of those fights, and that's myself. So it is what it is. That's how I fight. This fight will be just the same. I'm going to go out there and try to break this dude as fast as possible, as violently as possible, obviously. Most violent man, all that, it doesn't matter. I'm 22-3 with 19 knockouts. Which one of those dudes can say that? Which one of those dudes can say they got 9 bonuses in their first 7 fights. Not one of them. The common denominator is going to be me every single time. It's the way I fight. It's why they pay me so much money.
How do you see this fight going? Is this going to be a war, or is this going to be one of those you get them out and then you go grab yourself a beer and watch your teammates fight the rest of the night?
I have no idea how this fight will go. I'm preparing to be my best self, like I do every fight. I have not watched one fight of his this entire camp. Yeah, it's 15 minutes of perfection. I've had thousands of minutes to be ready for this. So it's on me to go out there and perform. I'm a show off. I love showing off. I love the fact that there'll be 20,000 people, 1 million people watching on TV. That's what drives me. So I'm most excited about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was going to ask you about Madison Square Garden. Every time, you guys go into like these kind of iconic places, you could ask these kind of questions, but you are a guy who likes to put on a show. You are a guy who likes to entertain. I mean, you think about walking out in a place like Madison Square Garden. Does that help you get through some workouts? Does that get you fired up?
Yeah, I mean, it gets me fired up, but I don't even take myself to that place too many times. I love that first interaction with the fans to be just complete surprise. I want the energy to be a surprise. I want everything to be a surprise when I walk in there. The only thing that's not a surprise is how bright the lights are. You can never forget how bright the lights are.
So last thing I'll ask you, and then we'll get you out of here, but I want you to preview your teammates' fights. How do you see, tell us a little bit how Rose has been in camp, and how do you see that fight going with that second fight with her and Wei Li?
Yeah, I mean, Rose makes you question yourself. Are you working hard enough? Because she works so damn hard all day, every day, every workout. I think, the way that she finished Wiley the first time was perfection. The chances of that happening again are very small. Wiley's a great fighter. I think this is going to be not a competitive fight per se. I don't know, how Rose has the ability to shut your lights off, and she's so fast, so technical that could happen again, but the chances aren't great. I think it's going to be more of a, longer fight, more of a technical showdown where Wiley's trying to make it a brawl and Rose is trying to pick her shots. Mm-hmm. And eventually she'll, again, break her down and then find her shots, the big shots, touch her body. And, no girl, I mean, not a lot of girls. Amanda Nunes, Shevchenko, and Rose Namajunas can put girls to sleep like they do with one shot. So, yeah, it's a great factor to have as a fighter. And that's why it's so fun to watch her. What she did to Joanna, what she did to Wiley, those were all things that we watch men fight for, bigger men, 155, 170 and up. That's why we watch those dudes, to see those dudes get to put out with one shot. And now these females are showing us something different. I don't want to get hit by Rose. I've been kicked by Rose. She'll put anybody out. If you don't see it coming and you don't brace for it, you'll go to sleep. So yeah, that ability as a female fighter is tremendous. I mean, Wiley has that in a sense, but nowhere near to the factor that Rose does. Mm-hmm. Nowhere near.
And then how about
hers are all straight shots. You're not gonna get a lot of hooks that are gonna cause a centrifugal force that you need to put someone to sleep. And yeah, the way that Rose creates leverage is something special. And Kamaru, workhorse, same thing. Man, it's hard to not be biased. I dislike Kobe like so much, so I want to see him really just put it on him. But he's a damn good fighter. Piece of person, but he's a good fighter. Good wrestler, hungry. Stupid and crazy like we all are. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I mean, that was a great fight they had last fight. Kobe gave him the best fight that he's had in a long time or ever. Mm-hmm. So, I think Kamaru's time here with us, with Trevor, his confidence, his gain in confidence will give him the ability to put him away faster this time.
And one more question for you, because that's my thing. That's my thing. I tell you I'm on my last one, and then I'll give you one more. I do want to ask, how much are you thinking about a UFC championship? Having just fought for one, you're on a card now where 2 of your teammates are champions, and you know that if you win this fight, you should have a chance to fight one for one in the next one. Is it hard not to think about like the championship belt?
No, it's not hard at all. I mean, if I look past this and lose, then because of that, then I would never forgive myself. Right now, the belt's not on the line. The win is so important right now for me. So that's all that matters. Getting this dub, at the end of the day, I never know, or you never know. Nobody ever knows what's going to happen when it comes to getting a win and moving on and getting a title shot or not getting a title shot. So, for me to take that into consideration and worry about that would be dumb.
Well, always a good time talking to you, man. Enjoy the chef, enjoy the food, the cut down to 155, and we will see you very soon in New York, man. It's coming up very quick, so looking forward to it.
All right, you have fun in Abu Dhabi.
All right, I'll try.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.